Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Right. Thank you. I think, do you see the board? Yes. All right. So, we're going to start the first lesson today, right? Okay. Unit 4. Unit 4, we have three different sections. The first section is it's about the photosynthesis. And number 2, it's about the ecology. And number 3, climate change. So these are the three important lessons we're going to learn on the Unit 4. And there is another important thing. Unit 6, if we consider Unit 6 paper, this has 3 or 4 questions. The question number 1 and question number 2, they are similar to the question of AS Unit 3 practicals. There's not much different. Everything's format is same as Unit 3 practicals. Then the question number 3. Question number 3 based on the statistical test. And then question number 4. Question number 4 is similar to unit now question number 1 and 2, but it's an extended version. That means it's a detailed description about the practicals. So question number 3, statistics. Only in ecology section we're going to learn 3 statistical texts, and also we can consider we learn statistics here. So under that there are 3 statistical tests. Test number 1 is a student t-test. Test number 2 is chi-square test, and test number 3 is Spearman rank correlation test. So we are also going to learn statistics under the ecology section. This is the overview of the Unit 4 section, right? And then next part of the Unit 4, that is topic topic 5 and topic 6. The 3 lessons are microbiology, Number 2, immunity. Number 3, forensic. Microbiology, immunity, and forensics. Okay, then another important thing, when you finish in these 6 lessons, there are about 4 practicals which are come under the topic 5 and topic 6. There are 2 practicals from microbiology, and also 1 practical from climate change, and there is another practical is coming somewhere here, microbiology. So around 4 practicals we have to learn required for the unit 6 paper. This is the structure of the unit 4, but also important for the unit 6. So we start today the photosynthesis. Right, how this works actually similar to AS. I can share with you the workbook with some questions. You can start copying things while you are learning. There's no no time given separately to copy these notes at the same place in the workbook. Once you get this one, and once you print and ready with you, you can start writing and also drawing on the same pages when you are listening to the topics. Right, that is the introduction for the A2 level. If you have questions about exam, unit 4, unit 5, unit 6, or anything else, you can ask. So now it's a time for you to ask any questions if you need help. Right, let me see if I can upload this file to Zoom, then you can download. No, I think it's a bit difficult to manage. I will WhatsApp the file. It's a little bit bigger than cannot handle, right? Okay, so we start photosynthesis first. right? What you know already about photosynthesis, the equations, right? So it is a glucose molecule. Glucose should come to the end, the production of glucose molecules by using sunlight, right? So we can simply say it is a production of using carbon dioxide and water with the energy from sunlight. It's a very simple definition of photosynthesis, production of glucose using carbon dioxide and water with the energy from sunlight. And we can write this equation, carbon dioxide, water, and it also gives oxygen as a byproduct. All right, so if this is the reaction and it is straightforward, the two molecules combined with the help of sunlight to make glucose, what we can learn about more about photosynthesis, this seems to be a small reaction, but this is very complicated process, and we split into many different stages, and then we are learning each stage what is exactly happening. Right, why this is important? Reason is this. Now let's take producers of plants. And after that, the food chain is made out of primary consumer, and then secondary consumer, like this, right? Okay, if we add the flow of energy, sunlight energy is converted into a chemical energy, that is glucose, by the plants. And the glucose is available after that for the other levels. Now under photosynthesis, we're going to learn how this energy of the sunlight converted into a chemical energy. So chemical energy in the sense, so if we look this detailed structure of glucose molecule, it has a carbon, 6 carbon around hydrogen, and OH ion is organized around carbon atoms. Right. When this line represent a bond, this line is actually rich in energy. The sunlight energy is trapped into these chemical bonds. And in the next unit 5, you're going to learn respiration. So respiration, what is exactly happening? It's opposite of photosynthesis reaction. So glucose required oxygen, and it produces carbon dioxide, water, and the energy molecule ATP. Now, if we learn ATP in the future, it is similar to nucleotide. It has ribose sugar and 3-phosphate group and a nitrogenous base adenosine. Okay, you see these glucose molecule bonds, the yellow color one, and this energy now transfer to this level, to the phosphate group. Now, if you look this picture very carefully, the sun appears to yellow color here, and the glucose molecule has bond with yellow color, and the ATP molecule has bond with yellow color. So that is a flow of energy, how sunlight energy is now finally moved to the ATP molecule. So ATP molecule is the universal energy for all organisms. So you see the relationship between sunlight energy, photosynthesis, and the respiration. So plant can directly use sunlight energy, but after that, other organisms, they have to depend on the plant, so they can take these glucose molecules to produce the energy. Right. Today, you can have a small piece of paper and you can copy this down. But later on, once you print the notes, you can directly write on the note sections, right? Right. We also look a little bit about this ATP molecule. So ATP stand for adenosine triphosphate. Right. In photosynthesis, you can see at the first stage, the sunlight energy is used to produce ATP by plants. So plant first produce ATP. The energy molecule is produced directly from the sunlight energy. And interestingly, ATP is not the only molecule that has energy. It produces another molecule which can use to get energy. But that molecule is not the same as ATP, because ATP is the only molecule. Okay, ATP is the only molecule used by all organisms. Then second molecule is produced called nicotinamide, adenine, dinucleotide, phosphate, NADPH. The ATP molecule is the well-known molecule which can trap this energy and used by the all organism, including bacteria, plant, and animal. The second molecule is also produced using the sunlight, is important for the plants, and this molecule is called NADPH. So NADPH also has some amount of energy. Right, this is the first step. First step is plant produce ATP as the main energy molecule. The second, plant also produce another molecule, NADPH, which also has energy. After that, in the second step, with the help of these two molecules, carbon dioxide is used to produce glucose. So this energy is provided and also this one is also provided to make this reaction. So if I can add water here, water and carbon dioxide combine to make a glucose molecule. To join these two molecules, this ATP and NADPH energy used. This is a second step of photosynthesis. Now, second step of photosynthesis, the light is not the main requirement. It can happen in the presence of light or in the absence of light. Light is not the important factor. But the first step, it needs light. So we call first stage light dependent reaction. The second step, we can say light independent reaction. Okay, now ATP is the universal energy for all organisms. Why can't plant solely depend on ATP? If plant can produce ATP, then the plant can use this ATP. So then plant does not produce glucose. If plant can produce ATP at the first stage, and ATP is the energy molecule of the whole organism, why plant do not completely rely on this ATP? It's a question for you now. How do you think about this question? It's a very logical question. Plant can produce ATP directly from sunlight. Not only ATP, there's another molecule as energy source. And almost all organisms use ATP. So if plant can produce ATP and it can use ATP, why it is going to the second stage to make glucose? So what is the answer for this question? Can anyone tell the answer? I hope you understood the question. Photosynthesis, the first stage is production of ATP and NADPH. These two molecules are energy-rich molecules. And the second stage, this energy of this molecule used again to make glucose. Plant can directly use ATP as their energy source, but still plant produce glucose from these two molecules. Why plant does not use ATP only, and instead it also produces glucose? Right, there is a Navi. Okay, Naveshi, you said one answer. Good that when you're trying to find answer, mean your brain is thinking many different ways to get the answer. It increases your thinking capacity. So it's just an exercise for the brain. As long as we try to find answers for question, we give some exercise to the brain, right? Okay, one reminder, 10 minutes we have to log again because the 40 minutes time is over Zoom free version, right? Right now, okay, you are trying to approach like this way. If this energy transfer to the glucose molecule, if this energy transfer to the glucose molecule, glucose get more energy. But I think if we look all our knowledge, chemistry, biology, physics, all three subjects, so far energy transfer process is not efficient. So that's a very basic thing we learn. If energy transfer from one molecule to another molecule, the process is not very efficient. So could still drain some amount of energy during this process. So assuming that 100 arbitrary unit contain these two molecules, and then it produces a glucose molecule, it's very unlikely same amount of energy is moving to glucose. Because of the energy transfer efficiency, it is always less. So we don't see that advantage that the glucose molecule is getting more energy in this process. Okay, you can still think it is something like this. You know, it's nothing to do with this, right? Sometimes very simple thing we don't look when we answer the questions. Okay, there was a conference in USA It's like a kind of a joke story, right? Then the American scientist met Sri Lankan scientists and they started off with each other. Then the American scientist told, we are the first went to moon. I think 1969, Neil Armstrong is American, together with Colin Cowdrey and another person. These Americans went to the moon. Then a Sri Lankan scientist told, moon, that's nothing. We went to the sun. Sri Lankans went to the sun. And then American scientist asked, how can you go to sun? It's very hot. I think the temperature of sun is more than 5,000 Celsius degree. Then he asked, it's very hot. How can you go? Oh, we went in the night. It's simple. Sri Lankan scientists say we went in the night. I mean, that's a joke story, but a little bit, we can take something from that story. The nature is like this. The 12 hours, let's take roughly 12 hours is the sunlight. If 12 hours is the sunlight, then another 12 hours, it's in the dark. So another 12 hours is dark. And some part of the world, a certain time, they have a more dark than the daytime. So then easily we can think the daytime is less. So they produce ATP during the day, they can use this ATP. But in the night, there's no sunlight. It could be one option is plants should produce enough ATP even for the night. Even in the night, to use in the night, they should produce enough ATP. But ATP is not a good storage molecule. ATP is not a good storage molecule. I mean, we don't want to go too much detail, but the phosphate, when you look at the ATP molecule, phosphate. Just give me 1 second. Hello. Hello. Oh. Sorry. Right. Okay. This is adenosine, ribose sugar, and the 3 phosphates. Now, if you look at this ATP molecule, we can understand if it is a universal energy molecule, they should be able to provide energy very quickly. Let's say, take about the petrol. It's a very good energy molecule, but the storage is risky. Storing petrol is very risky. It can easily burn. It's highly flammable. That is the nature of the energy molecules. They are rich in energy and they can quickly give the energy. As a result of that, it's not naturally the body is not planning to store too much energy, because it can easily hydrolyze this ATP, the bonds, and it can produce ADP. You see, ATP hydrolyze to make adenosine diphosphate, and this is written as a PI, simple I, phosphate. And then they can release energy. It's a really good molecule to provide energy and easily hydrolyze. I mean, hydrolyze mean use your ACE knowledge. It's adding water molecule. So if there is a water molecule, add to the ATP molecule, and then still enzyme is ATPase, the enzyme can quickly break into ADP and phosphate. You see now we got two ideas. One is a light dependent reaction which take place in the daytime. So then roughly 12 hours they can produce ATP, and ATP cannot the store as energy source. And if you still recall your knowledge, ACE knowledge, we learn this further glucose molecule further polymerize to make starch. Now, if you look, starch is the energy source of plant, energy storage molecule. If you still read your notes, we gave credits to the starch molecule. It's a good molecule of storage. It is not easily leaching of the cells. It has no osmotic effect, and it can easily give energy. So this is the storage candidate. So ATP fail in this case to become a storage candidate. As a result, making glucose and converting to starch is essential for the plant for survival. All right, so we have to come back again.